Hello, everyone. I'm Emily, and welcome back to the Hey English podcast for day 2 of our 30-day English challenge. I'm so excited you're here because today we're going to focus on something simple but powerful, talking about your daily routine in English. Every single day, these small steps will help you speak more confidently and naturally. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever tried to tell someone about your day in English and suddenly felt stuck? Maybe you knew what to say in your head, but when you opened your mouth, the words didn't come out. Your mind went blank and you felt nervous or unsure. Trust me, you are not alone. Almost every English learner faces this struggle. But here's the truth. Talking about your daily routine is one of the best ways to practice English every day. It's familiar, personal, and gives you a natural structure to speak with confidence. By the end of today's episode, you'll be able to share your morning, afternoon, and evening routine smoothly, and even add little personal details that make your English sound natural and engaging. So why are we focusing on daily routines today? Because your daily routine is something you already know very well. You don't need to memorize complicated facts or study long lists of vocabulary. You just need to talk about your life. Think about it. Every morning you wake up, you eat, you work or study, you relax, you sleep. These are actions that repeat every single day. And because they repeat, they are perfect for practice. By learning to describe your daily routine in English, you will build confidence in using the present simple tense. I wake up, I eat, I go to work. Learn how to use time words like always, usually, sometimes, never. Practice organizing your thoughts in a natural order, morning, afternoon, evening. Gain a ready-made script you can use in real conversations. Imagine meeting someone new and they ask, "What do you do every day?" Instead of panicking, you'll be able to answer smoothly. I usually wake up at 7, then I have breakfast, and after that, I go to work. Clear, simple, confident. That's our goal today, to make your daily routine story your go-to practice tool for English speaking. Let me share a story about one of my students, Sarah. She was very eager to practice English, but whenever I asked her to talk about her daily routine, she froze. She said, "Emily, I know what I do every day, but when I try to say it in English, my mind goes blank. I forget the words, and I end up just nodding or smiling instead." Does that sound familiar? Maybe you felt the same way, knowing your routine perfectly in your head, but struggling to put it into English sentences. Sarah knew all the simple actions: wake up, brush teeth, eat breakfast, go to work, but she couldn't connect them in a natural order. That's a very common challenge for English learners. The good news is it's not about your ability. It's about structure, practice, and confidence. Once Sarah learned to organize her day into morning, afternoon, and evening and practice speaking in short, simple sentences with time words, her confidence grew rapidly. Within a few days, she could share her daily routine smoothly without freezing or worrying about mistakes. And here's the best part. You can do the same. Today, I'll guide you step by step, so by the end of this episode, speaking about your daily routine will feel natural and easy. Before we jump into strategies, it's important to understand why speaking about your daily routine can feel difficult. Many learners face 2 main types of barriers. 1, emotional barriers. Fear of making mistakes. You worry, what if I say it wrong? nervousness in front of others, even simple sentences feel intimidating. Perfectionism, wanting every sentence to sound correct before speaking. These emotional barriers make your mind freeze, and suddenly simple phrases like, I eat breakfast, feel impossible. 2. Logical barriers. Not knowing the right order of actions, like, do I say I brush my teeth first or eat breakfast first? Confusing verb forms like I wakes up instead of I wake up. Forgetting time expressions like I go work instead of I usually go to work. Once you recognize these barriers, you can start addressing them step by step. The key is practice plus structure plus repetition. Today, I'll give you 4 simple strategies to overcome these barriers so that speaking about your day becomes natural and confident. The first strategy I want you to use today is keeping your sentences simple. Many learners make the mistake of trying to say too much at once. They want to impress others with long sentences, fancy words, or complicated grammar. But here's the truth. Fluency comes before complexity. Speaking in short, clear sentences is more powerful than stumbling through long, complicated ones. Let's start with the basics. When you talk about your daily routine, use one action per sentence. For example, I wake up at 7 a.m. I brush my teeth. I eat breakfast. Notice how short and clear these sentences are. Even if your grammar isn't perfect yet, short sentences help you focus on speaking confidently. You can always add details later. Here's a little trick I give my students. Imagine your daily routine as a list of short actions. Think of it as a morning checklist. You wouldn't say, first I wake up and then I go to the kitchen to make breakfast, then I eat, then I brush my teeth, all in one breath. That's too long. Instead, break it down. I wake up. I brush my teeth. I eat breakfast. Each short sentence is like a stepping stone. Step by step, you'll move smoothly through your routine and your brain won't feel overwhelmed. Another tip, practice out loud. Don't just write your routine in a notebook. Say it like you're talking to a friend or even to yourself. For example, when you wake up tomorrow, you can say aloud, I wake up at 7. I brush my teeth. I eat breakfast. You'll be surprised how quickly it feels natural. Finally, remember, perfect English is not the goal yet. The goal is to get your words out with confidence. Simple sentences are your building blocks. Once you feel comfortable with short sentences, longer and more detailed sentences will come naturally. The second strategy is to add time expressions to your sentences. Time words make your daily routine sound natural and organized, and they help your listener understand when things happen. Some common time words are always. I always wake up at 7 a.m. Usually. I usually eat breakfast at home. Sometimes. I sometimes go for a walk in the evening. Never. I never skip lunch. Let's practice combining simple sentences from part 5 with time words. For example, simple. I wake up at 7 a.m. With time words, I always wake up at 7 a.m. Time words do 2 important things. They make your sentences more interesting. Instead of repeating the same, I do this, I do that, you now show patterns in your life. They help you speak more fluently. You don't need to think about complicated grammar. Just add a word like usually or sometimes, and your sentence flows naturally. Here's a mini exercise you can try right now. Think about your morning routine. Say each action out loud and add a time word. I always wake up at 6:30. I usually brush my teeth after breakfast. I sometimes read the news before leaving for work. Notice how your sentences already sound more complete and confident, even though they are still simple. A little tip. Start with always and usually, then add sometimes or never when you feel comfortable. For example, I always have breakfast. I usually drink coffee in the morning. I sometimes walk to work. I never skip dinner. Adding these words also helps you tell your story in a natural order, which is exactly what English speakers do when they talk about their day. The third strategy is structuring your daily routine into 3 simple parts: morning, afternoon, and evening. This method makes your routine easy to remember, easy to speak, and much more confident when you talk to someone. Step 1. Morning. Think about the actions you do in the morning. For example, wake up, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, get dressed, go to work or school. When you speak, try this. In the morning, I wake up at 7, I brush my teeth, eat breakfast, and get ready for work. Notice how grouping actions together makes it smoother. Instead of listing everything randomly, you now have a clear start to your story. Step 2. Afternoon. Next, think about your afternoon. Maybe you work or study, eat lunch, take a short break. When you speak, try, in the afternoon, I usually work at my desk, I eat lunch at 1 p.m., and sometimes take a short break to walk outside. Grouping your actions this way makes your speech logical and easy to follow for the listener. It also makes you feel more confident because your brain knows the order of events. Step 3. Evening or night. Finally, think about your evening. Finish work or school. Relax, watch TV, read, exercise, eat dinner, go to bed. You can say, in the evening, I relax by reading a book. I have dinner with my family and go to bed at 11 p.m. Why this works? By dividing your day into 3 parts, you avoid forgetting steps, your story flows naturally. Build confidence, you know exactly what to say next. And practice fluency. Each part becomes a mini sentence chain you can repeat easily. Here's a quick practice tip. Speak about 1 part at a time. Start with morning only. Once you feel comfortable, add afternoon, then evening. Soon, you'll be able to tell your whole daily routine smoothly in one go. And remember, you don't need perfect grammar. Focus on speaking clearly, step by step. Confidence will come naturally as you repeat this structure every day. Now that we've organized your day into morning, afternoon, and evening, it's time to make your daily routine unique and interesting. This is the 4th strategy: add personal touches. Personal touches are little details that make your routine sound real, relatable, and memorable. They help your English sound natural instead of robotic. Step 1. Describe your preferences. Instead of just saying the basic action, add how or why you do it. For example, instead of I drink coffee, say I can't start my morning without coffee. It wakes me up and makes me happy. Instead of I read, say every evening I read a few pages of my favorite book to relax before bed. Notice how these small details bring your routine to life. They show your personality and they give you more sentences to practice speaking. Step 2. Share your feelings. Adding your feelings or opinions makes your sentences more engaging. I love taking a walk in the evening because it helps me clear my mind. I enjoy cooking dinner because it's relaxing after a long day. Even simple feelings like, love, enjoy, hate, feel, make your sentences sound natural and conversational. Step 3. Add variety. You can also include occasional or special activities in your routine. On weekends, I sometimes go hiking with my friends. I rarely eat fast food because I prefer home-cooked meals. Using words like sometimes, rarely, usually not only improves your English, but also gives you a richer, more interesting story. Step 4. Practice out loud. Here's a mini exercise. Pick one part of your day, for example, morning. Add a personal detail. In the morning, I wake up at 7. I brush my teeth and then I drink a cup of coffee because it makes me feel ready for the day. Repeat this for afternoon and evening. Speaking with personal touches adds more words naturally and helps you practice longer sentences without feeling overwhelmed. Why this works. When you add personal touches, you sound more confident and interesting. Your routine becomes a story, not just a list of actions. You're practicing natural English that you can use in real conversations. Remember, even small details count. Don't worry about being perfect. The more you personalize, the easier and more enjoyable speaking becomes. Now that we've practiced keeping sentences simple, using time words, organizing your day, and adding personal touches, it's time to talk about a very important topic: mistakes and self-doubt. Many English learners struggle because they fear making mistakes. You might think, what if I say it wrong? Will they understand me? I sound silly. Let me tell you something. Making mistakes is not failure. It's learning. Every time you make a small mistake, your brain remembers the correct form for next time. Mistakes are actually a sign that you are practicing and improving. Common mistakes learners make about daily routines. Verb errors: I wakes up instead of I wake up. Word order errors: I breakfast eat instead of I eat breakfast. Skipping words: I go work instead of I go to work. Forgetting time words: I eat breakfast, but I usually eat breakfast sounds more natural. Here's the secret. Don't aim for perfection, aim for clarity. Even if your sentence isn't grammatically perfect, if the listener can understand you, you are communicating successfully. Overcoming self-doubt. Repeat aloud. Practicing daily routine sentences out loud builds confidence. Visualize your day. Picture your morning, afternoon, and evening while speaking. This makes sentences easier to remember. Record yourself. Listening back helps you notice mistakes and correct them slowly. Celebrate small wins. Every time you speak a full sentence without freezing, congratulate yourself. Confidence grows with small successes. A motivational note. I want you to repeat this to yourself. Mistakes are part of learning. Every time I speak, I improve. I am getting better every day. Remember Daniel, my student from part 3? At first, he froze when talking about his daily routine, but by practicing step by step, speaking simple sentences, and not fearing mistakes, he became fluent in describing his day in just 1 week. You can do the same. So today, whenever you feel unsure, take a deep breath, start simple, and keep going. Mistakes are proof that you are learning, is the path to confidence. Now it's time to practice your daily routine in a conversation format. I'll play both parts so you can listen and repeat, or even practice speaking along with me. This is a safe way to practice English and build confidence. Role play example. Hi, how's your day going? Hi, my day is good, thank you. I usually wake up at 7 a.m. How about you? I wake up at 6:30. What do you do after waking up? After I wake up, I brush my teeth and have breakfast. I usually drink coffee in the morning. That sounds nice. What do you do in the afternoon? In the afternoon, I usually work at my desk. I take a short break around 2 p.m. Sometimes I go for a walk. And your evening routine? In the evening, I relax by reading a book. I have dinner with my family and go to bed around 11 p.m. Wow, your day sounds well organized. I should try adding a short walk in the afternoon too. How to practice this role play. Listen first, hear both parts, and notice the sentence structure. Repeat aloud, play one part, and repeat the other. Switch roles. Pretend you are person B and respond naturally. Add personal touches. Include your own favorite activities or feelings. Tips for confidence. Speak slowly at first. Clarity is more important than speed. Use time words like usually, always, sometimes to make sentences flow naturally. Don't worry about mistakes. Repeat the conversation multiple times. By practicing in a role play format, you'll train your brain to think in English instead of translating from your native language. It's one of the fastest ways to improve fluency and confidence. Today, while talking about your daily routine, we've used several useful English words and phrases. In this part, we'll review 5 to 7 smart words and phrases with examples so you can use them in your own sentences. 1. Wake up. Meaning, to stop sleeping and get out of bed. Example, I usually wake up at 7 a.m. 2. Brush your teeth. Meaning, clean your teeth with a toothbrush. Example, I brush my teeth every morning after I wake up. 3. Eat breakfast. Meaning, have the first meal of the day. Example, I eat breakfast at home before going to work. 4. Take a break. Meaning, pause from work or study to rest. Example, I take a short break at 2 p.m. to stretch my legs. 5. Go to bed. Meaning, lie down and sleep at night. Example, I usually go to bed at 11 p.m. 6. Usually, always, sometimes, never. Meaning, words to describe how often you do something. Examples, I usually have coffee in the morning. I always eat breakfast before leaving home. I sometimes watch TV after work. I never skip lunch. 7. Routine. Meaning, a regular series of actions or habits. Example, I want to change my daily routine to include more exercise. Practice tips for vocabulary. Speak aloud. Use each word or phrase in a sentence about your day. Mix them together. Combine time words with actions. I usually wake up at 7 a.m. and brush my teeth. Repeat daily. The more you use these words in real sentences, the more natural they become. By learning and practicing these words, you're building a strong foundation to talk confidently about your daily routine. Congratulations! You've made it through day 2 of our 30-day English challenge. Today, we focused on talking about your daily routine, a simple but powerful way to practice English every day. Here's a quick recap of what we learned. Keep it simple. Use short, clear sentences to build confidence. Use time words. Words like always, usually, sometimes, never. Make your sentences flow naturally. Organize your day in 3 parts: morning, afternoon, and evening. Help you speak logically and clearly. Add personal touches. Little details make your routine unique and engaging. Overcome mistakes and doubts. Remember, mistakes are proof that you are learning. Practice with role play. Speaking as both person A and B trains your brain to think in English. Master key vocabulary. Words like wake up, brush your teeth, take a break, and routine help you talk about daily life confidently. Now it's your turn to take action. Speak about your morning, afternoon, and evening routines out loud today. Use time words and personal touches to make your sentences natural. Don't worry about mistakes. Focus on clarity and confidence. Remember this: confidence comes from practice, not perfection. Every sentence you speak makes you stronger. So, practice today, share this episode with a friend, and let's keep improving together. I'll see you tomorrow for day 3, where we'll take another exciting step in your English journey. Keep speaking, keep learning, and keep growing.